Hey everybody, Matt here. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had a couple people on my channel ask about or recommend the Asus ROG Delta 2 wireless gaming headset. So last Saturday, a little over a week ago, I went out and picked them up so that I could try them out for myself. As always, if you don't want to watch the entire video, here's the long and short. If you are on the fence about this product, you're interested in it, you just want someone to tell you whether or not they're good, hell yes, I think these are badass, and it is very nice to have a product that I'm happy to enthusiastically recommend to pretty much everybody again on this channel, all right? Here are the reasons why I think it is worth the $225 price tag without a doubt. First up is the audio quality. The audio on this thing is amazing. I think it is on par, if not better, than what you're gonna find with the graphene drivers on the Logitech Pro X2 or the Astro A50X. If you go in and tune these in the software, yes, it is Armory Crate. We can argue about that later. But there is a ton that you can do in the software. I tweaked with these for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and I got them to a point that literally everything I listen to through these, whether it's video games, single player or shooters, music, movies, whatever, everything sounds just top tier awesome. Like, I think the audio quality on these is probably their biggest selling point without a doubt. And I think that anybody who tries them on and gives the equalizer a chance is going to find something that makes them very happy in that regard, all right? So audio quality, top tier. The microphone is the second best on a gaming headset, wired or wireless, period. I say second best because I do think that the one on the A50X is just a little bit better, but I think that's almost all the more impressive for the ROG Delta 2 when you consider the fact that this is a detachable microphone. And I will do a microphone test like I always do towards the end of the video so that you can hear these things side by side. I'll probably compare the Cloud 3s, these, and the A50Xs, right? So the microphone, it's amazing. If you're someone that is in Discord or communicates with your friends regularly, you're definitely gonna appreciate the mic that they put on this headset, all right? The third part is comfort. Now, while I do think that everybody is going to find these comfortable, right? The adjustability on these is top notch, but more important than that, they're extremely lightweight and well built. I did have one minor gripe, and that's the fact that no matter how comfortable I do find them, there's no denying that the padding at the top headband here is laughably thin. I did develop a little bit of discomfort the first couple of days that I use these after wearing them for about an hour to an hour and a half. I developed discomfort across the top of my head. And when you feel these, I really wish everyone was just kind of sitting here so I could pass them around so you can feel it. When you push on this top headband, you can very clearly feel this kind of plastic jutting out on the other side. And it's a very odd kind of like spine feeling pattern. I'll get into that a little bit later. I actually ended up taking it apart so that I could get pictures and just see for myself what the hell is going on in there. What I do want to mention is that while I did have initial discomfort, and while I did initially feel like kind of harping on this the same way I did with the Astro A50X, I want to be fair that since I've been wearing these about a week now, that discomfort has gone away for the most part to where I can wear these for 2-3 hours without noticing it. But also with the A50X, I complained about the top headband, right? However, after using them for another couple of months, either I broke them in or they broke me in to the point where that's no longer an issue whatsoever. So I'm hoping that is the case with these. But if you go out and you buy these and you do experience discomfort, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about, right? The padding up there is just laughably thin and there's just this hard plastic jutting out. But a week in and I don't really experience it as much anymore, right? So just something to be aware of, okay? So that's audio quality, microphone, and comfort. In terms of the feature set, this thing has Bluetooth, and what makes me very happy is that it is the simultaneous Bluetooth that I have been wanting ever since I had headsets that had it in the first place, right? The SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7 wireless, the Astro A50X, they have simultaneous Bluetooth. But like the last 4 headsets I reviewed, Logitech Pro X2, Razer Black Shark V2 Hyperspeed, Turtle Beach Atlas Air, Razer Kraken V4, all those headsets had Bluetooth, but you had to swap between either having in-game audio or Bluetooth audio. This allows you to have both at the exact same time, which is what I love. Okay, so if you are in a game and you're browsing your phone, You can hear the audio coming from your phone if you're browsing Instagram or TikTok, whatever. If you want to put on a quick song, instead of having to tab out and go to your music player, you can just do it on your phone, listen to it. They did it in a pretty interesting way in the fact that on the headset itself, the left ear cup here has all of your volume and function controls for your PC audio, and the right one has all of your controls for Bluetooth audio. So there are two entirely independent volume wheels on this thing so that you can get your volume settings however you want to. So the Bluetooth functionality is done perfectly on these. Makes me very happy. The only feature that they don't have that I wish they did is a game chat mixer. All right, so that's the one thing that's missing that I would have liked to have seen. The other thing that it doesn't have is the ability to save different equalizer presets to the headset and swap between them like you can with some Razer headsets, all right? So that's the good and the okay with this headset. I think that the good is great and worth that $225 to the point where if people are asking me what headset to go buy, I think this is going to become probably my new go-to recommendation. Like, yes, the HyperX Cloud 3 is a great kind of safe pick, but I'll tell you what, if you have an extra $100 and you're willing to spend it, I think most people are going to be pretty damn happy with these in terms of that audio quality, the microphone quality, and the comfort if they break them in, all right? I look at this headset in the context of the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7 and the Astro A50X, all right? Because they have very similar feature sets and audio quality. Let me explain. So you could go and get the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7X that has simultaneous Bluetooth and a game chat mixer. So it has that one extra feature that I wanted. However, that headset costs $170 and it does not have anywhere near the same quality in terms of audio quality or microphone, right? So you're getting a massive upgrade in those two departments while missing out on the game chat mixer. I think that is worth the kind of $50 upcharge on the ROG Delta 2, all right? And on the other end of that spectrum, you have the Astro A50X, which is a headset that has similarly great audio quality, similarly great microphone, similarly great simultaneous Bluetooth integration. It does have that game chat mixer, and it also has this kind of all-in-one amazing charging base station, right? And that headset's gonna set you back $380. So if you're out there, you're interested in the A50X, but you know that you have absolutely no use for that base station that can swap between all three systems, you only own one of them or something, and you're okay with not having a game chat mixer, this is the headset to go and get, in my opinion, all right? So I love this thing. It is badass. My only problem, no, it's not even a problem. My one concern just for myself is how do I fit this up into my own personal lineup when I already have the A50X sitting there on my desk, right? I think that I enjoy the audio on these more, but you always have to have the understanding that anytime you're listening to a reviewer like me or whoever, it's hard to differentiate the new awesome thing from the old awesome thing, right? So just take that part with a grain of salt. I think the value is there on this headset. $225 is steep, don't get me wrong, but goddamn, they're awesome, right? So enthusiastically recommend. It's very nice to be able to say that again. So video, I'm gonna keep it kind of short and sweet from here on. What do you get in the box? We're gonna talk about the software. We're gonna do a microphone test and just kind of wrap the whole thing up, all right? So first and foremost, what do you get in the box? What are the features of the headset itself? In the box, obviously, you get the headset, which has a detachable microphone. You get swappable ear cushions. They have leatherette memory foam ones that come default on the headset, but they also do include these fabric ones that are very similar to your SteelSeries Airweave fabric or what you're gonna find nowadays on the Razer Kraken V4. So nice fabric ear cushions if you like those over leatherette. You get a USB-C to USB-A charging cable. You get a 3.5 millimeter cable because these do have a 3.5 millimeter jack if that's a selling point for you. You get a nice small USB-C wireless receiver or dongle. And then they do include this little USB-A to USB-C adapter in case you don't have that port on your computer, right? So you get that in the box as well as this little kind of handy cheat sheet on the functionality of the headset and what the different volume buttons and all that kind of stuff do, all right? So When you turn these on, normally if you have it plugged into your PC, the RGB lighting is going to be on. If you don't want it on or you'd want to turn it on, you can hold the function button over here for 5 seconds and it will turn that on, all right? So just overall features real fast. So the headset itself is very, very adjustable. I think these are going to fit anybody's head. Not only do they go very far down, but they do also include this kind of cool tilt and swivel feature on the ear cups themselves to where it'll kind of fit like any sort of head shape, all right? The ear cups do rotate if that's a big selling point for you. And the microphone, like I mentioned, is detachable. Now, when you get these out of the box, I think everyone's going to appreciate the build quality of them. Definitely premium materials all the way around. None of this feels cheap whatsoever. Important to note, the only padding on the headband is up top here. These little side parts are not padded. There's these 2 little metal brackets here where it ends. So, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, when I'm able to pull back and like make this taut, you can see these plastic ridges in there. And the first night I wore these, I just felt that on my head. So I ended up taking it apart. The padding is just laughably thin. Like, regardless of the overall comfort, there's no way to convince me that Asus could not have provided a little bit of extra padding up top here. Yeah, it's a weird design choice for such a premium feeling headset that it was just so minor up there. But again, maybe you won't experience any problems like I did. Maybe you got a harder skull. I don't know what to tell you there, all right? So that's kind of the build quality and comfort of the headset itself. Ear cushions are great. I actually think the padded ones on the leatherette do a better job of kind of keeping the headset centered on my head. These fabric ones, if you move your head too much or you're walking around, it'll kind of bobble, jostle around while you're walking. Not that big of a deal, just something to note. I actually, maybe it's just getting cooler in Texas. I didn't hate the leatherette ear cushions on this one for once, all right? So, in terms of the actual controls on the headset, like I said, you get a little handy thing in the box. But on the left ear cup, you have your overall volume dial. This controls the volume on your PC. You have your function button. That's going to allow you to play, pause, skip track, whatever it may be for any kind of audio that's coming through your PC. You have your actual physical power switch there, your USB-C charging port, and then you have your microphone, which does have a little LED indicator to let you know when you are muted, which I did appreciate them having for a detachable mic. On the right ear cup, you have your Bluetooth controls. So again, you have an entirely functional Bluetooth volume dial, and it actually controls the volume on your phone. So if you're scrolling this and you look at your phone, you'll see your iPhone volume going up or down. What I did find actually really interesting too is that if you have these connected to your iPhone and you have the like the battery widget that tells you what your battery life is on your phone, your watch, whatever, these will show up. So you can see your battery life on the Delta 2 on your iPhone if you have it connected. And then beneath that is another function button that allows you to do the same kind of stuff. So you can play pause, skip track. If you get a phone call incoming, you can press it to answer. Like all good Bluetooth integration, it will mute you. If you're in Discord, it will mute you in Discord, right? So that the people there won't be able to hear your conversation. And then you're able to use these kind of volume wheels to adjust how you want to. So if you want to turn the game volume down to where you can still hear it at a lower volume, you can do that. Turn Bluetooth up, whatever it may be, right? And at the very end of the right ear cup, you do have your 3.5 millimeter jack. So overall, very nice headset in terms of the build quality, the presentation, the packaging, whatever it may be. And it's highly functional. Like I said, I just wish they had that game chat mixer on there. That would elevate this to like an 11 out of 10 for me, all right? So briefly touching on the audio quality, I need to go back and do more research on the different types of drivers and what is the kind of overall differences between them. Because it's only in the last couple of months I've started to see this branding on headset boxes to where we have graphene drivers with Logitech and Astro. We have titanium drivers with Razer and now with the Asus ROG Delta 2. Clearly there's something there, and I don't really know how to discern the differences or what to say with them. What I will tell you is that the most recent headset I reviewed, the Razer Kraken V4s, had 40 millimeter Triforce titanium drivers. I guess that's like the Razer branded driver, right? These drivers are 50 millimeter titanium, And there is a just freaking night and day difference in the audio quality between the two of them. Much more than I would just be able to be like, oh yeah, these are clearly just 10 millimeters bigger. No, they're tuned better, whatever it may be. But also, like I'll show you in a minute, there's so much that you can do in the software to get these into a spot that you're gonna love the audio that comes out of them. So audio quality is just fantastic. I think that if I hadn't already heard the Logitech Pro X2's 50 millimeter graphene drivers, right? That was the first time that I had ever really put on a headset that wowed me for the first time in a long time. I think if you haven't used anything like that, when you put these on and use them, I think these will do the exact same thing. You'll be pretty impressed with how damn good they sound, all right? So that covers those pieces. Let's jump into the software and microphone, wrap the whole thing up. All right, so jumping into the software here, right now I am using the microphone on the Delta 2 so you can just start to get an idea of what it sounds like. We can argue about Armory Crate. Yes, when you install it, there are a ton of background processes running on your computer, similar to what you're going to find with Razer Synapse. But if you can get over that and you can get into the software, there is a ton you can do here in the audio tab for sound optimization. First off, there are a bunch of different presets for the right side over here, right? So each one of these is going to mess around with or edit the different features on the right side here. You have virtual surround, reverb, bass boost, voice clarity, compressor. So you can mess with those to start, right? But then you also have an individual equalizer that has a bunch of different presets as well, right? So all your different music types or whatever it may be. And again, you can just set your own custom one that makes you happy. I spent a little bit of time in this, messed around with it to where I found something that I like, and I'll tell you what, it's awesome for me, right? It makes me very happy. I was listening to music right before I started recording this segment, and I was just in awe again of just kind of how fun the audio quality is on this headset, all right? So that's the audio tab. In the microphone tab, you have your kind of standard settings to set a noise gate. Perfect voice, I don't think you need to turn this on because I think the audio quality that comes through already is good. And then they have an echo cancellation and noise reduction if you need to use that. Mic monitoring is there. It's under settings. So side tone is here. Don't get me wrong. This is not that great of side tone compared to other headsets that I own. Essentially below 13%, it might as well not exist. I can barely hear myself. So I leave it pretty turned up pretty high. And I need to have that on my closed back headsets, right? You can go and mess around with your playback devices, your mixer dashboard in Windows, whatever it may be. Yeah, and then you have the ability to go and mess around with the lighting. This is the same thing as what you're going to find if you own any Asus products. You're going to be very, very familiar with that. And then the power settings as well. You can have different alerts when it reaches a certain level, right? So that's the software, very easy to use, but highly, highly recommend you take the time to go into the audio tab and optimize this thing to make it work for you, right? I think everyone is going to be able to find a sound profile that makes them happy. All right, let's move over to the microphone comparison. All right, so jumping into a very quick microphone comparison. Right now I'm talking through the HyperX Cloud 3, a very budget-friendly headset with a good microphone on it that is also detachable, which is why it's a good comparison for the ROG Delta 2. It's important to note right now this thing is set to 32,000 hertz in Windows settings. You have to do that when you buy it because it comes default at 16,000, which is a significant drop in the audio quality. So this is as good as the HyperX Cloud 3 mic can sound. Let's swap over to the A50X. All right, so this is the mic on the Astro A50X. Like I've been saying since I got this headset, I think this is the best microphone on a wireless gaming headset, or actually on a gaming headset, wired or wireless. It's just phenomenal quality. If you are a streamer, if you're someone doing voiceovers, this is a mic that you could use for it. It's important to note, this is non-detachable. It is flip to mute, but really phenomenal sounding microphone overall. Now that it's recent, let's swap over to the ROG Delta 2 so you can hear them side by side. All right, so this is the mic on the ROG Delta 2, like you heard in the previous section where I went through the software. I think this thing is incredible, especially when you factor in the fact that it's detachable. The quality on it it's there, right? Like I've mentioned before, I do a little test in Discord when I get a new headset where I jump in and I ask them which one sounds better. no one noticed the difference between this microphone and the one on the A50X, which I think speaks volumes for it. Now, in a little controlled environment like this one where we're hearing them side by side, you might think that the ROG Delta 2 sounds better than the A50X. I think they're both just absolutely top tier for what a gaming headset microphone can and should sound like. So hope that was enough of a comparison for you. Let's go ahead and wrap the whole video up. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I think these things are absolutely worth the price tag. I'm very happy to recommend them. And it's nice to have a good product again that doesn't have this kind of fatal flaw, right? The Logitech Pro X2, the Razer Kraken V4, while they were okay headsets, they had these horrible microphones that made it difficult to recommend for a gaming headset that you're going to be communicating with, right? My only gripes with this headset had to do with the fact that they could definitely use more padding on the top headband. However, maybe you won't experience the same discomfort that I did. Maybe you'll break them in faster. I don't know what to tell you, but they could have added a little bit more padding, right? Regardless of the kind of plastic on the other side. And I would have loved to have seen a game chat mixer, but like I said, when you put it in the context of the two other headsets that do have those features, SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7 Wireless, Astro A50X, I think $225 for the quality that you're getting with this headset makes it worth it. So I love this thing. If you have one, let me know what you think of it. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the section below. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. Have a great rest of your week. Talk to you next time.